This is Jeff Altman, Big Game Hunter. Welcome to Job Search Radio.
Are you looking for a new job or interested in leveling up? Job Search Radio is your go-to resource for insider tips on job hunting and growing your career. Here's your host, Jeff Altman.
Episode 406 of Job Search Radio. I'm your host, Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I'm the head coach for JobSearchCoachingHQ.com and NoBSCoachingAdvice.com. And welcome. You know, times have changed from when I was a puppy doing recruiting and now. And in those days, if you had gaps in your background, it was the kiss of death. You are finished. You couldn't find work so easily. And it is easier now, even though it's not perfect. And here I give you an option for how to explain gaps in your background. Hope you find it helpful, and it's Friday, so let's get going. Let's talk today about how to deal with that gap in your resume. You know, that period of time where it took you 5 months, 8 months, 7 months, whatever it is, to find a new position 3 years ago. How do you deal with that interruption in your experience? Now, some people have this silly idea that they're supposed to lie and try and cover it up. I must, in all honesty, tell you it doesn't work. Employers are cooperating with one another, and they do background checks post-employment. They'll send a note to your previous employer and say, Jane explained that, wrote on her application that she worked for you for such and such period of time. Does that seem somewhat accurate? If they find an inconsistency in your job history, it's grounds for termination. They can't keep you on board because, frankly, lying can get them into trouble. Imagine for a second you're employed and you commit some sort of crime. You're on Wall Street and you steal or trade grandma's life savings down to zero. Can you imagine what happens when the lawyer gets a hold of the firm and asks, so you knew he lied, he lied in his employment application and you still kept him on board? How's that going to play out in the courts? So employers have a very simple policy. They'll terminate you. They'll terminate you without any warning whatsoever. Basically, what they'll do is meet you at your desk with security, hand you a box of your personal things, and send you on your way. You don't want that to happen. Here's how you deal with it. When you have a gap in your background, what you do is you use the cover email that you send your resume in. Cover emails are like the old cover letters. You don't send a separate document. You use the message area of your email to sell yourself. So you might say, I'm forwarding my resume to you because I was referred by so-and-so who told me that you had a position for such and such. Or I saw your listing on such and such site and understood you were trying to hire such and such type of person. Then the second paragraph talks about your qualifications and how your background fits the role. The third one allows you to say something like, you may notice in my history, 4 years ago I was unemployed for 6 months. During that time, the economy was terrible. I found it difficult to find work. I was able to ultimately land with another organization. Or you might just simply say, I had an injury at that time. I had been in a car accident. I had surgery. It was impossible for me to return to work. Or I assisted my dying mom during the last months of her life. These are pretty common stories that employers hear. Or another one that they hear, I took a package to leave my organization. I decided that I hadn't had a lengthy vacation since I was in college and decided to spend 4 months traveling in China before coming back and resuming my career. Whatever it is, use that in the third paragraph and then go back and sell yourself in the remainder of the cover email. This is the easiest way to deal with a gap in your background. And then you just have to remember what you told them in the course of the email so that when you meet with them in person and they raise the subject, they're looking for consistency. So if you talk about that vacation that you took, you say, Yeah, I know a lot of people would find it difficult to believe, but it was one of the great 4 months of my life. And I love my work, but it was an opportunity to travel. I had money in the bank. I decided to take advantage of this time. And you just do it in a way that sounds like you're absolutely sincere. So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, here's a few ways that you can follow up with me. First of all, if you're interested in one-on-one coaching from me, email me at jeffaltman@thebiggamehunter.us, and in the subject line, put the word coaching. I'll get back in touch with you. We'll set up a time to speak for an introductory conversation. We'll see if it makes sense for us to work together. Generally, I work with people at a manager level and above. Next, if you're not at that level, the next best way to work with me is through JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. There I have curated information that you can watch, listen to, or read that's going to help you find work more quickly. Plus, you can ask me questions through the site. I'll be very happy to answer them. Next, if you're not sure about your resume or your LinkedIn profile or both, I do critiques of them, and you can find out more about them at thebiggamehunter.us, as well as what I call the job search makeover, where you hire me, we sit down for 60, 90 minutes or so. We go through everything that you're doing in your search. Maybe we do a mock interview, and when all is said and done, you are much better prepared to go forward. I have a lot of services like that. Again, you can find out about them at thebiggamehunter.us. So I'll be back soon with more. In the meantime, have a great day. Take care.
If you would like to have Jeff give you advice about your job search, you'll love JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. This site has all of Jeff's books and guides to job hunting available free. The ability to have Jeff answer your questions, plus podcasts and videos that'll help you with all the different parts of a job search, including writing a winning resume and cover letter, great answers to interview questions, how to negotiate effectively, whether you want an easy way or want to get tough, plus a community of people like you who you can get advice from. The site again is JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. That's JobSearchCoachingHQ.com.